Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be explaining to you how to transform kaftans like this to something very beautiful. You know, kaftan keeps evolving and it will never stop, so different designs will be coming up. So we're going to be transferring this to this. So for the sake of those people that do not know how to start a kaftan, so I'll be starting from the beginning. So guys, first of all, we're going to be folding our fabric like this. Make sure you're holding the folded side, okay? So we're going to be folding it in a triangular form. So the first thing we're going to do is to measure the lower parts of your leg where you want this kaftan to end. Check what measurement you want to use. Like me, I want to use 16, some use 15. It depends on how pencil you want. I would love to use 26 for my upper part, okay? So the folded part you're seeing there is going to be the back, while the open part is going to be the front, okay? So guys, we're going to be using a measurement of 3 by 3. For the back, I'll be using a measurement of 3 by 1.5, while the front I'll be using a measurement of 3 by 9, okay? So for the back, let's mark the back. First of all, we're going to remember to have about ½ inch seam sewing allowance at the upper part. You have to remember to consider that. So I'm marking out the seam allowance, the sewing allowance for the shoulder area, which is ½ inch. So I'm going to be coming down by taking 3, which is my neck point. Neck depth, I'll be coming down by 1.5. So after sewing, I'll have 2, okay? So, or you okay, for the back, for the front actually, I'll be using 9. It depends if you want your cleavage to show. You can go between 9 to 10, but if you don't want the cleavage, I would advise to stop around 7 to 8, okay? But I just want a little cleavage, so I'll be using 9. Now I'll just mark that part straight, okay? Just straight up. So the next thing I'm going to do is the length of the dress. The length of the dress is actually 56, I guess. So the next thing I mark now is my opening of my arm. I'm going to be using 8 for the opening of my arm. So that point I marked is the opening of my arm. So we have cut it out. Now when you get to that place, you just be careful because you're only cutting your back. Be careful that you do not cut your front. So we're just making sure we cut only the back there. So we're going to be continuing our cutting. We're going to be continuing the cutting, just taking it straight down till the end. Then make sure you notch the point where your neck depth for your front will be stopping. It's very important. Okay guys, so I'm trimming out the back. So remember, the back is not equal, so I have to locate where the shortest part, and that will be the length of my back dress, okay? Length of my dress. Then I'll just follow the line according to how it is. Okay, I just notched my neck point. So next I'm going to be to join the front line. So remember that you're just going to stop where your neck point stops, okay? Now we have done that. This is for the shoulder. I'm just going to be sewing the shoulder up to the point where my arm opening stopped, okay? So I'm just trying to recheck the 8. So I'm just going to sew and stop there so that my arm will have where my arm will be coming out, okay? So guys, this is it. Now I've just marked a place there that is like 1 inch after my under bust. That part is where I've just marked. So if you want yours, you can also wear it to check where you want the mark to be. So I choose that part, and which is actually ideal. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to cut it open. So I'm going to be using 8 inches in all. So 4 inches on the left side and 4 inches on the right side. I would have done this on the table because I want to show you guys what it is. So that is why I'm placing it on the mannequin so you understand properly. So the next thing we're going to be doing now, we're going to be taking the cutting downwards. Now what you're going to consider now is where you want your front to stop, how short you want it to stop at the front, because it's going to be going upwards. Now I've just checked where I want it to stop from the length of the dress, and I've chosen 15 actually. Okay, so by the time I move it upwards, I'll have a reduction of 15. So guys, from there I'll be marking downwards to 15. So it depends on what you've chosen. So I've chosen 15, so I've just marked 15. Okay, now the next thing I'll do, from where that 15 line is, I will also go 4 inches left, 4 inches right, just like the way I did the upper part. Or you can do 3 inches left, 3 inches right also, because the upper part line has to be longer than the lower part. Okay, now we're going to be connecting the line from the upper part to the lower part line. That is why I said you can use 3. That is 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Okay, so when you're connecting it, it forms like a curve. So we're going to be connecting it to form like a curve. I think it will be easier for you on the table actually, but because I just want to show this illustration, that's why I'm using it on a mannequin. So I'm trying to make a curve. Okay, so after making the curve, the next thing we'll do is to cut out the curve to form an opening. So guys, we're going to be cutting it out. Be careful not to cut the wrong part. So we're going to be cutting it out to form a circle. Just follow the line that you have made. So guys, here we now have the opening. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to work in with a needle. I advise to work with actually with this kind of big needle to form a fuller gather for you. So we're going to make a gather. If you don't know what a gather is, this is what a gather is actually on the screen. So we're going to be making a gather. So we're not going to make it from the upper line, we're just going to make it, just going to concentrate on the side line down to the lower curve, lower line, and back to the line, the side line. The upper line we're not going to be gathering it. Okay, so let's do the gather. Okay, guys, so we're going to be joining all our gathers to the upper parts. That is why I said that the upper parts will not be gathered. So we're going to remove gathering everything to join to the upper parts. And when you are joining it, please consider the middle seam. Okay, the middle seam will have to meet each other, else you might not have a good finished work. Okay, the next one we're going to be placing is the applique. So this is the one I'm using. You can use a trim, your trim it, you can use applique. So we're going to be placing it on that line where we've joined it, okay? So when placing it, make sure your upper part is well stretched out so that it won't be gathered at the upper part. The gathering should only be concentrated at the lower part, okay? So you just take it to the machine and you sew it. So I'm going to be using the gum to finish up to make it lay flat because the applique I'm using is not laying flat. So I'll be joining my rope. I'll just be joining my rope at the back where the line ends. That is where I'll be joining my rope, where the sewing ends from the back, the joining. That's where I'll be adding my rope on the both sides. So by the time we tie it, it gives the front this firmness. So the next thing is just to sew up the upper part. You can use the bias or you just sew it that way, then sew your arm area and the hem area. So guys, that is just it. So if you love my tutorial to this point, please, I would appreciate that you give subscribe if you've not, and if you please, I would also like you to share and like my page, so to support my page. And this is it in chiffon. I actually made this chiffon, and I think I love the chiffon more than the crepe actually, because it gives me this fullness and this softness. So guys, so don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And I was actually playing with the fabric, with the design. I thought, okay, maybe it should look shorter. How would it look? So I just tried to tack it by the side. So you could also try out that too. It could come out nice depending on the person that is wearing. So guys, this is it. So bye, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next video.